Good morning, sunshine, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. You are listening to the English Mindset Podcast, and I am your host, Emma. We are coming to you live from our stunning modern studio, right here in the heart of the Big Apple, New York City.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be back in the studio. I'm Liam, and looking out the window today, Emma, the energy of Manhattan is just contagious. You can see thousands of people down there on Broadway, all rushing toward their goals.
It really is incredible, Liam. But as I was walking to the studio this morning, grabbing my black coffee, I realized something. Many of us are like these busy New Yorkers, always rushing, always setting big goals, but often feeling like we are running on a treadmill. We move fast, but we don't actually change our location.
That's a powerful metaphor, Emma. In the world of personal development, we call that the cycle of frustration. We want the result, the promotion, the fit body, or the fluent English, but we forget to change the person behind the goal.
Exactly. And that is what today's episode is all about. We're diving deep into a concept called identity-based habits. This isn't just about how to study English or how to exercise. It's about shifting your mindset to become the type of person who naturally does those things.
For our listeners who are working on their English, this episode is a double win. You'll practice your listening skills with real, natural American English, and at the same time, you'll gain a psychological tool that can literally transform your life.
To be honest, this concept changed my life when I first heard it. So grab your notebook, maybe a cup of tea or coffee, and let's get started. We're going to show you how to stop focusing on what you want to achieve and start focusing on who you wish to become.
Let's dive in. New York is the city of dreams, but today we build the systems to make them real.
So, Liam, let's get right into it. To be honest, I've been struggling lately. New York is a city where everyone has a big goal. I told myself 3 months ago that I would go to the gym every single morning at 6 a.m. My goal, my outcome, was to lose 15 pounds before summer.
That sounds like a very standard goal, Emma. Actually, it's what 90% of people do. They start with the result they want.
Right, but here's the thing. Well, after 2 weeks, I just stopped. Now, every time I see my running shoes near the door, I feel guilty. I feel like I failed. Why is it so hard to keep a simple habit even when we really want the result?
Well, the problem isn't your willpower, Emma. The problem is the direction of your change. Most people focus on what they want to get. This is outcome-based habits. You focus on the 15 pounds. But when the scale doesn't move fast enough, your brain says, this is too hard and I'm not seeing the result, so why continue?
Exactly. I feel like if I don't see the outcome, the habit has no value.
Actually, that's the trap. You are trying to change the leaves of the tree without looking at the roots. The roots are your identity, what you believe about yourself. If you still believe you are a person who hates exercise, but you are forcing yourself to run, your inner self will eventually win the fight and make you stop.
You mentioned roots and leaves. I love that imagery. Can you explain how we can look deeper into those roots?
Certainly. Imagine 3 concentric circles. The outer circle is your outcomes, the results, like winning a marathon or speaking English fluently.
The middle circle is your process, the systems you follow, like your study schedule or your gym routine.
Okay, I think I spend all my time in those 2 circles. What's in the center?
The center is your identity. This is your belief system, your worldview, your self-image.
Most people start from the outside in. They say, if I lose weight, outcome, then I will be a healthy person, identity.
That's exactly how I think. If I pass the exam, then I am smart.
Right, but to make a habit stick, to make it truly sustainable, you have to work from the inside out. You decide to be a healthy person first. Then you ask yourself, what would a healthy person do? Well, a healthy person walks to work instead of taking a taxi. A healthy person chooses water over soda.
So it's not about the 15 pounds anymore. It's about being the type of person who doesn't miss a workout.
Precisely. Actually, when the habit becomes part of your identity, you don't even need willpower. You do it because that's just who you are. A musician doesn't force themselves to play music. They play because they are a musician.
That sounds amazing, Liam. But to be honest, it also sounds a bit, well, difficult. How do I suddenly change my identity? I can't just wake up and say, I am an athlete when I haven't run in a month.
You're right. You can't just fake it with affirmations. Identity change requires evidence. I like to think of it as an election.
An election? Like voting for our president?
Exactly. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. No single action will change your belief overnight. If you go to the gym once, you don't suddenly become an athlete.
Right. I'd just be a tired person who went to the gym once.
True. But if you go 3 times a week for a month, you are starting to build a pile of evidence. Each workout is a vote for I am an active person. When you study English for 10 minutes, that's a vote for I am a learner.
So I don't need to be perfect. I just need to win the majority of the votes?
Exactly. You don't need a unanimous vote. You just need more votes for the new identity than the old one. Actually, this makes it much easier to handle bad days. If you eat a donut, you didn't fail. You just cast one vote for the old identity. Your job is just to make sure the next vote goes to the new you.
Let's apply this to our listeners who are learning English. Many of them say, I'm bad at languages, or my grammar is terrible. Is that an identity problem?
Absolutely. When you say, I'm bad at English, you are casting a vote for a negative identity. Every time you make a mistake, you use it as evidence to prove that you are bad. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. So what should they say instead?
Start small. Instead of, I want to be fluent, which is a big, scary outcome, try, I'm the type of person who never misses a day of English practice.
Even if it's just for 5 minutes?
Especially if it's just for 5 minutes. Actually, the smaller the action, the easier it is to cast the vote. When you listen to this podcast right now, tell yourself, I am a global communicator. You are proving to yourself that you value growth.
I love that. I am a global communicator. It feels much more empowering than I'm an A1 student trying to learn vocabulary.
To be honest, Emma, once you believe you are a communicator, you will naturally look for opportunities to speak. You will naturally listen more closely. The outcome, the fluency, will eventually follow the identity. But the identity must come first.
This is such a shift in perspective. It's not about the goal, it's about the person we're becoming every single day in this busy city.
Exactly. In New York, we are always building things. Today, let's start building a new you.
Welcome back. That conversation with Liam really opened my eyes. I hope you all took some notes, but if you didn't, don't worry. This is my favorite part of the show, the vocabulary deep dive.
Actually, it's my favorite part too, Emma. Understanding the concept is great, but having the right words to talk about it is how you truly master the language. Today, we've selected 5 golden words that are essential for both your English and your personal growth.
Let's start with the big one, the star of the show, identity. Liam, for a B1 learner, how should they think about this word?
Well, strictly speaking, identity is who you are. But in a practical sense, it's the story you tell yourself about yourself. To be honest, most people use it too formally. They think of ID cards, but in New York, we use it to talk about our soul and our habits.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, you can say, I'm trying to make fitness part of my identity. This means you don't just go to the gym, you are a person who values health.
I see. So it's deeper than a hobby. It's like saying, my identity as a New Yorker means I'm always on the move.
Exactly. It's the core of who you are.
Word number 2 is outcome. I hear this a lot in business meetings here in the city.
Right. An outcome is a result or a consequence. It's the what at the end of a process. For example, the outcome of my English exam was excellent.
But we talked about the danger of focusing only on the outcome, right?
Exactly. If you only care about the outcome, you might get frustrated. A good way to use it in a sentence is, we are focused on the process, not just the final outcome.
To be honest, that's a great mantra for language learners. Don't just wait for the outcome of being fluent, enjoy the process of learning every day. Moving on to word number 3, consistent. This feels like a very Liam word. You are always so consistent.
Well, thank you, Emma. Consistent means acting or done in the same way over time, especially so as to be fair or accurate. In the world of habits, it's everything.
Like, she is consistent with her morning routine.
Perfect. Actually, it's the opposite of being random. If you study English for 5 hours once a month, you are not consistent. If you study for 10 minutes every day, you are being consistent.
It's about the frequency and the steadiness. I want to be more consistent with my podcast recordings. Next is a word that sounds like it belongs in a crime drama, evidence.
It does, doesn't it? Evidence is the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief is true or valid. In our identity talk, we use it to prove our new identity to ourselves.
So, if I have a notebook full of English vocabulary, that is evidence that I am a student.
Precisely. Every page is a piece of evidence. You could say, there is no evidence to support the idea that I am bad at languages.
Oh, I love that. Using evidence to fight negative thoughts. I have plenty of evidence that I am making progress. And finally, our 5th word, sustainable. We hear this a lot regarding the environment, but how does it apply to our habits?
This is a crucial one, Emma. Sustainable means able to be maintained at a certain rate or level.
So, if I try to study 5 hours a night while working a full-time job in Manhattan,
That is not sustainable. You will burn out in 3 days. But studying 15 minutes while riding the subway, that is sustainable. You can do that for years.
so we should ask ourselves, is this habit sustainable for my lifestyle?
Exactly. Actually, the best habits are the ones that are so small they feel almost too easy. That's what makes them sustainable.
Review and wrap up. Let's recap quickly for our friends listening. Identity, who you are and what you believe about yourself. Outcome, the final result or goal. Consistent, doing something regularly and steadily. Evidence, the facts that prove your new identity. Sustainable, something you can keep doing for a long time.
Well done, Emma. I challenge our listeners to pick just one of these words and use it in a sentence today. Write it in your journal or say it out loud while you're walking down the street.
Great idea, Liam. Actually, seeing these words in action makes them so much easier to remember. Stick around, everyone, because after the break, Liam is going to share a final, powerful philosophy to tie all of this together.
As we sit here watching the lights of Manhattan begin to flicker on, I want to share one final thought with everyone. Most people treat self-improvement like a marathon they have to win, but the philosophy of identity-based habits is different. It's about self-kindness.
Self-kindness, that's not a word I usually associate with hard work or habits.
Well, it should be. When you focus only on the outcome, you're essentially saying, I am not good enough yet, but I will be when I reach my goal. You are putting your happiness in the future.
To be honest, I do that all the time. I'll be happy when I speak perfect English, or I'll be happy when I lose weight.
Exactly. But when you shift to an identity-based mindset, you can be successful right now. If you study one new word today, you are a learner now. You don't have to wait for a certificate to earn that title. The action is the identity.
That is so powerful, Liam. It makes the journey feel much lighter. Let me see if I can summarize the main points for our listeners. Stop obsessing over the finish line. Focus on the person you are becoming today. Small is beautiful. A 2-minute habit is a vote for your new identity. Collect your evidence. Every small win proves that your new identity is real. Be sustainable. Choose a path you can walk for a lifetime, not a sprint that leaves you exhausted.
Perfectly put, Emma. Actually, I like to say that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, and your systems are built on who you believe you are.
Before we finish, we want to hear from you. We're sitting here in New York, but we know you are listening from all over the world.
Our question for you today is this. What is one tiny vote you can cast today for the person you want to become? Maybe it's listening to 5 more minutes of English, or maybe it's just choosing a healthy snack.
Whatever it is, share it with us. Leave a comment or send us a message. Your journey is unique, and we are so honored to be a part of it.
Remember, the city of New York wasn't built in a day. It was built brick by brick. Your new identity is the same. One brick, one vote, one day at a time.
Thank you for joining us in the studio today. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep being the wonderful person you are choosing to become.